I lied. We're live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Kayfabe Corner. I am JPO Jordan Pierce Owens. I'm joined by one of the rising stars of the independent wrestling scene. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only. He represents financially stable. He is WB the third, Winston Bentley the third. Winston, how are you today?
I am excellent, Jordan, or should I say, Mr. Commissioner, depending on where we are. It is.
Usually I would say yes, commish, ambassador, but it's you. You can actually call me Jordan. You can call me whatever you want.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. I appreciate that.
Of course. Of course. But literally that. Let's start off with just that. Simply that. How are you? How you doing? How you feeling? How are you on what is this? A Monday, Tuesday? What is this?
Uh,
Thursday?
it's Monday. It feels like a
Sunday?
Thursday,
Monday.
but
Okay. Well, I legitimately forgot as I was asking that.
I can't keep track anymore, man. But it's Monday. We're out here. It's early in the week. You know, we supposed to do some wrestling yesterday. That didn't work out, but things
I hate when that
happen.
happens. Yeah, that bummed me out. Yes, yeah, I think you would have had the world title yesterday. That's what I would have predicted. But we didn't quite get there.
Zach Monstar slips away again. It's pretty typical at this point.
He's dipping, dodging you, ducking you,
All
all
the
the
time,
above.
all the time.
So let's now start off in the world of wrestling. Even before you're in wrestling, though, where does wrestling come into your life? As a fan or as a person, where do you first stumble upon wrestling?
Yeah, I think 2003, so kind of right smack in the ruthless aggression era. I believe it was like fourth or fifth grade. Um, Flipping through channels. It's about 9 o'clock. It's almost my bedtime. Like I said, I was just a wee lad and stumbled across Kane versus Hurricane, and Kane's just destroying people, and here comes Shane McMahon to jump him, chasing, doing the whole thing. Shane lures Kane into a limousine and then drives said limousine into a tractor trailer. And here I am at, like I said, fourth grade. I don't know how old I was, like 9 or 10. And it's like, this man's dead. Like, that's it. And then here comes my
I
mom.
just saw a
Hey,
murder.
yeah. And here comes my mom. Hey, go to bed. So I went to bed wondering, did that man survive that? And it brought me back the next time for the 10 minutes before I went to bed the next week, and I started trying to find more of it. Stumbled across SmackDown, and that was a little bit more in the time frame. So, yeah, here it is, man. Oh,
Little Winston wondering, did that man just murder that big bald man?
yeah, and like that poor limousine, right? Like that's more what Winston was concerned about. I mean, perfectly serviceable limousine,
Felt bad for the car. You're like, that's an expensive car.
100%. But yeah, that was. I think that was a really cool time to be a wrestling fan because you're coming out of the Attitude Era, you're into the Ruthless Aggression era, and it's a little bit more of a there's a lot of guys that can go at that point, right? Like just really legitimately good wrestling, and I think some really good storytelling that still kind of carried over from that Attitude Era. So it was a really cool time to jump in and you know kind of watch the whole rise of John Cena. I was a big Cena guy, and yeah, exactly. The whole time, dude. I had the spinner chain with the. It was a whole thing, man. Um, but
Well,
yeah,
let's ask you that. Who was your favorite dude? Was it Cena? Who did you really your number one guy you grasped onto?
yeah. I mean, it probably has to be seen, but at the same time, Edge as well was a big one, and again, they had their big rivalry. So I was a little torn then, and I really liked Christian, and I really liked Jericho. So Christian, I always latched on to Christian for whatever reason.
At last.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's start going into when does it come into your mind that this is something you want to do?
So I think like at that point as a kid, like it was there. Like I was, buying like Triple H's workout books and shit like that, like just insane. And again, I'm me as a fourth grader, I was about maybe 65 pounds and just like 5'6", like too tall, but like incredibly skinny, and just like that was never going to be the path. But I was all into it, and got into high school, kind of stopped watching it a little bit, to be honest. And you know honestly, like I started considering getting into the business. I'm very interested in the creative side. um Even when I started training, I thought I was going to be a manager. So I'm 3 years in now. I came back into wrestling, even watching it as a fan at 23, 24, and watching it, getting into it. I was working in sports full time as a career, and was getting
What
really
were you
sour
doing?
on that. So at that time, I was the director of hockey operations for Brown University. So I was running two Ivy League hockey programs, and I wasn't feeling it. Like it wasn't giving me the tingles that it used to. And
You needed the tingles.
yeah, I needed the tingles, and so I decided to move home from Rhode Island, come back from Florida, try to find a boring 9 to 5, and that's what I was going to do in my time, instead of dedicating my life to sports and working the 9 to 5 as well as games, traveling, all of that. It was just too much of the same thing for me. So that was kind of the decision, was I was going to start training. Again, the goal has always, and still kind of is, I guess, the creative side. That's still what keeps me going, the part I enjoy about wrestling. So that's, yeah, like I said, I started training, thought I was going to be a manager. Took a couple bumps and was like, I could do this. And here I am, 3 years in now.
So where does the character of WB3 come from?
Oh man. Eh, there's no way to say this without coming off as an asshole, which is fine.
Go on.
Um I, I didn't want for much as a kid. I Derek is a very humble person. Winston is not. That's where we're very different. But in high school, it was almost like bullied for my family being okay, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Winston is almost a interpretation of what all those people thought I was, right? Just a rich douchebag. Never was that, never have been. Upper middle class family, but Winston is a complete exaggeration on how I felt like I was perceived in high school. I've never
Did you
told anybody that, Jordan. You're the first
oh,
person I've told that.
getting the scoop. That's what I want, the
Yeah,
scoops.
absolutely.
Did you ever toy with anything else, or did that just kind of seem true to you, so you went with that? Or was there any other kind of names or ideas floating in your mind at first?
Yeah, I mean, I had an idea I was firmly latched onto. I've always wanted to be in a tag team. I love tag team wrestling, so I always knew I was going to be preferably a tag team guy. I love singles wrestling. I'm a tag team wrestler. That's what I enjoy. And I toured around with like a 70s basketball gimmick. 70s, like 80s, like high shorts, but the team name was Whoop There It Is. And you just come out to Whoop There It Is.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
I
you
was
have
gonna
to at
do
that
like,
point.
yeah, and then I was gonna do like the rec specs and like a headband and do some goofy shit with that. And somewhere along the lane, I got talked out of it, to be honest, and landed
Who talked
on
you out of
what's.
it? Who talked you out of it?
I'm not gonna put people on blast, man. I can't do
Oh,
that.
I thought you were gonna I thought you were saying thank you to them, kind of.
Well, yes and no. I mean, to be honest, it's something I would love. I don't know, maybe at a con show or something like that. I would love to
Ah,
see Connor and I maybe pull out the Whoop There It Is gimmick
you
one
know.
time.
So it does sound like we will be back at the con. So just saying, if you ever want to see your dreams to come to fruition, we can make it happen.
Yeah, Connor is firmly against the idea, but we all know I wear the pants, so he might not have a choice.
Well, I
But
was just gonna say, like, I obviously I would never usually say this for real, but tell him it's what the booker wants, and what can he say? You know what I'm saying?
There you go. That's it. Yeah, we'll use that whatever it takes, man. I
uh,
still think that I think money could be made with Whoop. There it is.
Now, what would be your name?
I
Do you
never
not
got
have
that
one?
far. I never got
Oh,
that far. I think, just go back and watch some like old 70s basketball and probably just combine some names, honestly.
uh, uh, Barry Bird. No, I got nothing. I got
Yeah,
nothing.
there we go.
Uh, okay, so you said it first. I usually don't like to expose in case you don't like it, but you mentioned Derek before, so you're Winston is not truly the name. Where did you come up? So you had the character. Why Winston? Why Bentley? Why the third?
Sure. So there's some books I read as a kid. Um, it's the Myron Bolitar book series. And again, this is my love for sports. Myron Bolitar was a sports agent, but he always ended up solving mysteries. His partner in the agency was a rich, very rich man, handled all the finances, but he was not against murder, basically. And that man's name was Winston, and he went by Win, which I played around with that. Um,
Hmm.
but I took the name Winston from him, and then Bentley. I was just like, what's a douchey car that doesn't sound as douchey as like Winston
Okay.
Lamborghini? So instead of like Winston Lamborghini, we went with Winston Bentley, and then every rich asshole is like probably the third version of themselves. So Winston Bentley the third.
I like it. I like it. Did you ever toy around with anything else, or you ever like?
No, I once I landed on Winston, I liked it, and that was pretty much it.
Very nice, very nice. So, do you remember your first match?
I do.
Let's talk about it.
Do you remember my first match?
Oh, was I there? Ooh, I know I've been
You
there for several people. What was it? I'm not sure if I
so
knew it was your first.
sure it was financially stable. Um, and it was myself and Connor against Royce Adams and Alex Todd. It was when
Okay.
Alex Todd was just starting to kind of hang around Tampa Bay Pro a little bit.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was the first match. Um, Learned a lot. Um, those guys were both great, and we got through it and got the win. Started off right, the W. But yeah, that was the first match.
Any nerves going into it, or were you just ready?
Definitely nerves. I think anybody, it doesn't matter the crowd size. I think they're lying to you if they say they don't get some sort of nerves. I think that's healthy, and that tells you you're still enjoying it. So definitely nerves. Definitely more than now, but they definitely still show up sometimes.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Well, that was your first match. What are some of your favorite matches you've now had? Who have you really enjoyed being in the ring with?
Um, it's a popular answer 2 weeks in a row, but had a ladder match at GTW, different ladder match than one no avail, but Hellhounds versus Financially Stable, and it was just the two of us, or just the two teams, and I think that really pushed them as well as us, because they'd been in there with other teams. You're getting a little bit of a break, right? You got six people to take all the bumps instead of four. Um, that's got to be up there. I don't think people had ever seen Financially Stable do anything like that. And I think even though we were the heels, I think people were borderline uncomfortable because it was just Nick and I just getting destroyed pretty much the whole time. So I I, I really enjoyed that match. Honestly, like I'm gonna shout out a defunct promotion, but
Oh, absolutely.
I had a lot of really good matches at DWI towards the end there.
I didn't know they were defunct.
Yeah, DWI kind of wrapped up shop. But
Oh.
yeah, that's where I really got comfortable as a singles wrestler.
Mm.
Was kind of going in there, had a few matches. Eventually brought Connor along, and we started doing the tag team thing there. But got to wrestle Draven Blaze there. Got to lock up with Matt Sweet a couple of times there. So those were all fun memories. Trying to think what else. Those are some of the highlights for sure.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sorry.
Scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, I apologize.
No, it's all good.
Oh man, he's losing his shit. Get out. Had to throw the dog out of the room. But
What's the dog's name?
Bauer. He is named after my hockey equipment. So
Oh, not Kiefer Sutherland from 24?
not Jack Bauer, no.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately not.
I tried going for it. Have you been lucky so far in the injuries territory? Any big injuries?
Um Honestly, I just every now and then my sciatic nerve, I'll land on it, I'll destroy it, can't walk for like 3 days. Actually last time I was at Real Pro, um my opponent, oh there it is. My opponent had to carry me out back to the car. So that was
Oh
cool.
no.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm a little mad y'all broke kayfabe, but that's the point.
I didn't say who. We're okay. People they gotta figure it out. But um no, fine. I'm sorry. Connor walked me to the car. He could
There you
carry
go.
me and put me on his back.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah. But that honestly, I've been pretty fortunate. That's really it, and that's only happened a handful of times. So not too bad
Any
considering my age. Considering my age, pretty lucky. But
no, good to know. Good to know. Let me know if you ever need anything.
appreciate that.
I'll carry you. I'll carry you. Uh, what are your favorite promotions? What locker rooms have been fun to enter and places you enjoy going to?
um, yeah, I mean, I gotta shout out the home promotion. Gotta shout out Tampa Bay Pro Wrestling. That's kind of always been home. Real Pro definitely feels like a second home. And I think what we were able to do at Grind Time, not really sure the status at this point, but what we were able to do there, man, for a time was pretty special. That was definitely a home. I
Are you no longer with Grind Time?
Grind Time's figuring out what they're doing and everything.
Hmm.
Once they left the Grindhouse, here and there, but yeah, always willing to go back to Grind Time, but during that kind of, I don't want to call it a peak time because who knows what they're going to be able to pull out later on. But there was definitely a high time so far for Grind Time, and that was a really fun place to be.
You kind of addressed one of the feature questions. So you do enjoy tag team wrestling. Is as you said, is that your forte? Do you want to someday go just singles, or do you like being in a tag team?
I like being in a tag team, man. I think that's always going to be what I do in wrestling, and I think it'll probably always be with Conor McKay. At this point, he was a little shit for a long time, but now it's just kind of like that kid brother I never asked for. So uh, financially stable isn't going anywhere. If they do, you could probably take a stab that I'm working my way out and try to put the kid over at some point. But um, yeah, I think tag team wrestling, specifically in that tag team, even though I don't know if you saw the news, there is a new tag team that is forming for one night only.
Oh yeah. Speaking of
Yeah,
past guests and now current guests, yeah.
yeah. I mean, how's it feel? You got the better half of two tag teams on one show. You got the better half financially stable, and you got the better half of the Billionaires Boys Club, the BBC. So Noah Vale and myself have put our differences aside, and we'll be teaming up to end Y'all Elite and destroy cheese forever. So uh, definitely something to look forward to.
It is like I was trying to pull up a quick clip here.
Absolutely. There it is, baby. The BBC.
So
Gotta
yeah,
love it.
so you're stepping out on Connor. You're teaming up with Noah Vale, who's also stepping out on Azrael. We got
Yeah.
a little bit of a mixed bed partners going on over here.
Yeah, and we hate each other. So, I think there for about a year and a half, it was just, it seemed like every time, every promotion, wherever we were, it was financially stable versus the Sexy Angels. So, deep hatred, but if there's one thing I more hate more than the Sexy Angels, it is cheese. So, you got to put your differences aside. For the Nova
Mm,
Alliance,
I see. I
April
see.
10th, Hogan's Place. We're gonna get it done. What we're doing might be a little bit of a surprise, but it's all in the good name of the captain, Aaron Nova.
I mean, you got to do it for the captain
Always, always.
always. And we actually will be bringing him up here in a little bit as well. Uh,
Awesome.
what's the longest drive you've had to make so far?
Probably so. It's something we're trying to change, but Connor and I have not been out of the state yet. So Miami being the longest drive they've made so far.
Very nice, very nice. Yes,
Yeah,
get out of the state, go
trying, man.
travel, flap them wings.
Absolutely.
We talked about a couple people you enjoyed wrestling. Now let's talk bucket list. Let's start off more locally, like in Florida, or you can go Georgia, wherever. But who's on that list where you're like, oh, I want to clash with them, whether it's a tag team or a singles? Who's on the kind of local bucket list?
Sure. I've already mentioned one of them. That being one Zach Monstar. Um, I if you're gonna have a singles match, pick a top guy, and that's the one for me. I'm ready to stand across from Zach and see what happens. So Monstar is definitely on the list. Um, my my wrestling dad, Andy Brown, is definitely on the list. Um, and then we'll start to step out here, and I'll probably go to tag teams real quick. Actually, I'm not going to step out yet. I'm not going to. We've
Oh,
never
so step
wrestled
back
the
here.
Gifted. We've never wrestled the Gifted.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
interesting to
that's
know.
yeah, and I feel like that's something that probably should have happened by now. So the Gifted, definitely on the list. And then let's
I
go
do
the
believe we even had a plan at one point, then I just didn't. Somebody wasn't available, so just saying.
yeah, it was probably a member of my team, I'm sure, because that's it's Connor. You get Connor or myself. You don't get both of us. At Real Pro for whatever reason, that always seems to be how it works out. But um, kind of looking a little bit more globally, I guess I'll call it. The Ascension. They're back on the
Hmm.
scene. Um,
Do you mean the awakening, sir?
I apologize. The Awakening. Oh my gosh, he's gonna kill me now.
I'll just say I feel like you have a little bit of a relationship with Big Con. I would imagine.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. Feel like that was towards the tail end of my time at the school. Still pop in, obviously, but yeah, the Awakening. I apologize for that. Again, anytime he wants to step in the ring and bury me, I think that I just gave him the opportunity to. So, that's definitely on the list. And then getting very bucket list. Christian,
Go
man,
nuts. Mm.
Christian. I he inspired me as a wrestler because it's a guy that's got decent size, but he's not picking a bunch of dudes up. It's all strategic. It's all smart. It's my move set is very much modeled in that way.
I was gonna say in retrospect, I see that now, both kind of like body frames and like work ethic or work method. Yeah, I can see that.
Sure. Yeah. So you know, that's that's probably the guy for me. 100% would be Christian.
Alrighty, he wants nothing to do with Edge, just Christian.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'll trust me. I'll take Edge too. But
Okay, fine. Throw
yeah,
some pity to Edge.
yeah, a little bit.
One of the most important questions I like to ask people is, and please give it some serious thought. Have you seen any good movies lately?
Yeah, I watched the most recent of one of my favorite franchises of all time, that being Scream. Um,
Yes.
yeah, thought the requel was excellent. Um, I don't want to give any spoilers or anything, so I'll bite my tongue a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely I waited a long time for that. So oh, here it is.
No,
Yeah,
I enjoyed it as well. It was fun.
yeah. There's things anybody would change, right? But I think fun is a good word. Um, I know I watched No Avail, so I'll grab a random movie that I just watched out of nowhere. There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day Lewis. I recently
Okay,
watched for the first time. Just kind of that good old fashioned slow build, and it was excellent. Really enjoyed that. Um,
check out his new film, Licorice Pizza.
is that good?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay, all right. I'll take your word
It's
for it.
in my 10 of last year. It's in my top 10 of last year. I mean, it might be my top 5 of last year.
All right. You're kind of the authority on these things, so I will.
I mean, all I know is, and I'm not dogging your partner, but Connor sure as hell is not the authority.
Dude, we could. You got time for another episode because we could really dive into that.
Did you see Josh Johnson's vlog?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Connor comes in. We're talking to Connor. It's right outside of the video game toy store that we do with
Okay,
MMA at, and we're talking about Scream, and we're like, "Hey, have you seen it, Connor?" And he goes, yeah, the one with Johnny Depp." That's what he says verbatim.
dude.
And I at
Like
first I was waiting for him to like laugh or like smile, and then I was like, "Oh no, this son of a
that's
bitch is serious."
that's not his sense of humor, man. No, like
I
that's
was waiting for
just
the drop.
yeah. I really need to start like writing down shit like that he says, but it's not even surprising to me at this point. It's just sad, honestly.
Just keep him under your wing, both as a wrestler and as a movie lover. Just
Doing my
like
best,
guide the
man.
boy a little bit.
I'm doing my best, man. Trying to bring him along. It's a full time job in and of itself. So
It's a full time job. Anything else? Any other movie shout outs you want to make, whether old or new? What's your favorite? What a couple of your favorite movies of all time?
sure, I'm gonna say
I will judge you, and bookings are on the line for bad answers.
I mean, like I said, the Scream franchise,
Okay, you're good so
it's up
far.
there for me. Big slasher guy, so Halloween is an all timer for me.
Okay, right on.
Uh,
Here now I gotta ask this segue. Uh, you like Halloween? What do you feel about both Rob Zombies and the more recent remake
uh,
or reboot, requel, whatever the fuck it is?
sure. The Rob Zombies dog shit in my opinion.
Okay.
Um,
Not far off from you.
I like there are some things I think he was trying to do that he just failed at doing with those movies. And then as far as the newest two, first one really good, second one too much, man. I like he's just slashing down like 20 people at one time. I'm like, come on, man. Like I I didn't like it as much.
I'm
The
pretty much in almost a total agreement with you. Yeah, on everything
yeah,
you've said so far.
and it was pretty upsetting because I feel like the first of the new ones, I was like, let's go,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we're in, you know. And
I
then
would say
yes,
between that and Matrix, I wouldn't say they were the worst movies of last year, but they were the most disappointing. The new
100%,
Halloween, the new Matrix. Yeah,
so much hype, yeah.
yeah.
Um, and then as far as favorites outside of I'll try to get out of horror. I'm not going to do well, but
I don't mind if you got more horror, man. If that's just what your heart goes to, I'm not knocking you.
yeah. So Your Next is definitely up there for me. I love a good.
I I didn't rewatch it. I had it on in the background the other day doing like a podcast because I've
Uh,
seen that. I like that.
it's just so enjoyable. And then I'm trying to who. I feel like you'll know this. Who directed that?
Oh, I want to say Ty West. Am I making that up?
I think you're making that up. I feel like I would.
Okay, that's definitely a guy. Here, I'll let you know in 5 seconds. Talk about something else. Adam Wingard is your director of your next.
Okay. So have you ever seen The Guest?
You know, I was about to try to cut you off and go. You know what he made that I really like is the guest.
That's
Yeah,
got
I
to be
like
a
the
top
guest a
fiver.
lot.
Yeah.
I would put that. I mean, I like your next, but I think the guest is really good. I like Dan Stevens is so good in that.
Oh
I
my
guess
God,
he
man.
did the new Blair Witch and then Death Note as well. Oh, and he did Godzilla versus Kong from last year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um, that bar scene in The Guest. I don't want to dive too deep, but when he's sitting in the bar and like that music is going, and it just oh, that scene just takes it to another level for me in The Guest. Such a great movie.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you take one thing away from this podcast is go check out the guest.
Watch The Guest, dude.
It's
Watch The
well worth
Guest.
it. That's not the screen grab I meant to bring up, but still that's the movie. I was trying to
Oh
remember
my
the trailer,
gosh, so
but
good.
yes, go
Yeah,
check out the guest.
yeah. If you take anything, it's nothing to do with wrestling. It's watch The Guest. 100%.
That's I always spend about a half an hour just to get to the good old movie plugs.
100%. 100%.
Well, we got a new segment on the show that I've
Oh.
that I've started recently, which is the user submitted questions. Um, First one is from the captain, Aaron Nova. He would like to know how many body slams did you take for Triple H?
Um. So I think he's asking me as a test because every time I tell the story, the number grows. We're
Okay,
gonna go with we're gonna go with 45 body slams this time.
okay, very nice.
Yeah.
Not what's the fuller story now? I kind of know.
I I don't know if it's I don't know if I could do this, but had an
If you
opportunity.
can't say it, but unless you want to say it,
Uh, don't worry, I'm not signed. I promise. Not that anyone thought that, but not signed. Yeah, got a small opportunity with one Logan Cruz for production company. Again, I don't want to say too much. Um, WWE had some interest in something going on. They needed a spot ran, and they had us do the spot a ton of times before Triple H or anybody else from WWE showed up. And so I took approximately 45 to 50 body slams running the spot. And Logan didn't take one bump for me, of course. So it's me taking a body slam over and over and over again.
fantastic. Your partner, Connor McKay, would like to know why don't you love me like you used to?
That man ate food at my house yesterday. He can stop complaining.
And what kind of food did y'all enjoy together?
We had some chicken, we had sausage, we had shrimp, we had rice, we had mushrooms, and I think that's it. Oh, I'm sorry, and a charcuterie board.
All right, I see my invitation got lost, but that's besides
Yeah,
the point. Uh,
next time, next time.
Next time. Uh, Corey C4, real pro, now Tampa Bay pro commentator, would like to know, can I borrow some money?
No,
All right, good, sufficient answer. Isabella King would like to know, what is your favorite brand of IPA?
I hate IPAs, so none of them. Um, Again, Derek's favorite beer, not Winston's, is PBR.
Oh, good old
Fun
classic
fact. Yeah.
PBR boy.
Oh yeah.
Get a sponsor.
Exactly.
No, but I mean like get a sponsor as in you need help. You need to drink less ice.
That is cruel.
Sorry, I couldn't resist. All right. Where do you see WB the third in 5 years?
Uh, Retired with a child, hopefully, that Connor McKay has to put over.
Wait,
At
Conor McKay's gonna put over your maximum 5-year-old son?
correct
Oh, all right.
in a shoot though, so it's fine. The kid's just gonna kick his ass.
Did,
That's a
do you
cat.
do you want to also give a real answer or what?
No, in all, I don't think it's a secret. Probably retired, but
Really? So you think you will be done in the next 5 years?
I mean, you're putting me on the spot, but yeah, I mean, I think outside of
Just asking.
yeah, I think outside of or maybe just decreasing. I don't know. I think certainly in 5 years, it's towards the end. I'm not as young as my spry partner. He's just a young boy. Um,
He did the boy.
yeah, I mean, in 5 years, I'll be 34. I think I'll probably be done by that point.
I think in 5 years from now, we're gonna interview you and you're gonna go, "I'm touring here. I'm doing this," and you probably
We'll
would have turned
see.
on Connor McKay and kicked him out of the
Probably,
financial
man.
stable a long
I
time
mean,
ago.
yeah, that's the only way I'm keeping going at that point is if I don't have him with me. So the old ball and chain.
All right, so let's do a little bit of role playing. It's after a show. A kid walks up to you and he goes, Mr. Bentley, I really liked your match. I want to be a wrestler." What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's thinking about becoming a professional wrestler?
I think know your intentions. Again, my intentions were never a Fed contract or anything like that. My intentions are always to tell a great story, create something memorable, be a great character. So I think knowing your intentions is the key to getting whatever you're hoping to get out of professional wrestling.
And now, finally, any plugs? Where can people find you online? If anyone wants to reach out for bookings, merch, all that stuff, upcoming shows.
Absolutely. Instagram, it's Derek Ewing WB3 altogether. Facebook, you can find us at Financially Stable. Um, on my Instagram has all the links to our merch and everything else. For booking opportunities, book financially stable at gmail.com. If I can do a small side plug here, I do have a side project called Fans of the Home Team. If you are a sports fan, please check us out on Instagram. Um, Instagram, Facebook, or we have a podcast now as well. So check us out on any of that. Again, it's more my fiance than me, but I make a rare appearance, so I'll go ahead and plug that as well.
Any parting words of wisdom you like to leave the audience here or me?
Jordan, I lost you.
Can you hear me?
Can't hear you at all now.
That is weird.
Jordan.
I'm here. At least I
Okay,
thought
I
I
can hear you
was.
now.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there.
Me either.
But any parting words of wisdom you like to leave us with?
Um, Absolutely. Fuck the cheese. And yeah, the sexy angels suck. That's pretty much it.
I've never heard truer words spoken. Uh, ladies and gentlemen, that was WB3. Make sure you follow him in all of his adventures. Catch him at a show. Buy some merch. Then buy some more merch because limos and all that fancy dinners that he never invites me to are very expensive. So you know what to do. Like, subscribe, tell a friend. If you didn't like it, tell an enemy. Thank you. Good night and good luck.